Rap has been an easy scapegoat for politicians whenever there's an uptick in violent crime. But a new law supported by rappers like Jay-Z is moving to reverse the stigma. I'm Dometi Pongo, and this is MTV News. Need to know. Jay-Z has thrown his support behind a law that would ban rap lyrics from being used in court in his home state of New York. Dubbed the Rap Music on Trial bill, it has also garnered support from music heavyweights like Meek Mill, Kelly Rowland, Fat Joe, Big Sean, and Yo Gotti. In January, these artists signed a letter to New York lawmakers, which said in part, rather than acknowledge rap music as a form of artistic expression, police and prosecutors argued that the lyrics should be interpreted literally, in the words of one prosecutor, as autobiographical journals, even though the genre is rooted in a long tradition of storytelling that privileges figurative language, is steeped in hyperbole, and employs all of the same poetic devices we find in more traditional works of poetry. There are many examples of lawyers presenting rap lyrics as admissions of guilt for violent crimes. In fact, the ACLU found that courts admitted defendants' rap lyrics into evidence at trial in almost 80% of cases examined from 2006 to 2013. And recently, New York Mayor Eric Adams reinforced the need for this bill after he called for a clampdown on drill music videos, saying that they were contributing to the violence we're seeing all over this country. Now, for context, murder rates spiked in the U.S. by 30% in 2020. The same year, a global pandemic changed the course of history and life as we knew it. The last 2 years have ushered in a record high in gun ownership. Add to that the inequalities and economic strains exacerbated by the pandemic. Experts cite all of these as likely reasons for the increase in murders, not rap music. The Rio writer Matthew Allen put it this way: anytime somebody tries to spotlight music as what's wrong with society, that's nothing more than gaslighting and trying to deter from dealing with the real problem. It's easier to fight rappers than it is to fight gun laws or deep-rooted social issues. And rappers are well aware of this conundrum. As Gucci Mane said in his new record, Rumors with Lil Durk, watch the shit you say the feds be listening to the music, and they gonna take your lyrics and build a case and try to use it. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to imply the rapper Scarface is a murderer, but Al Pacino, who played Scarface, isn't. And even though we know Bob Marley didn't literally shoot the sheriff, there is a hyper-realism in some of today's music that has gotten renewed attention following the popularity of drill music, where real deaths are recounted in chilling detail. Last year, the song Who I Smoke became a viral hit. That's pretty surprising since in it Spin a Benz, Whopper with the Chopper, Young and Ace, and Fast Money Goon all but admit to murdering other local rappers whom they mention by name. Hip-hop often deals with a lot of death directly, and we've laid to rest a lot of legendary rappers. But the violence associated with the genre is part of an ecosystem of larger issues that happen to plague the communities represented in hip-hop music. There are criminals in every art form. Woody Allen's character has a 17-year-old girlfriend in his film Manhattan, and he's facing several accusations of statutory rape. Chris D'Elia played a child molester in You and is now facing charges for sexually assaulting minors. Bill Cosby used to joke about drugging women in his stand-up routines. These are three famous comedians and actors, but no politician is fighting to ban comedy as a whole from YouTube. Being stigmatized as a danger to society is a hard label to shake. Because once these influential artists try to call for peace, their humanitarian efforts are typically cut off by authorities. Chief Keef, one of the pioneers of the drill movement, is banned from performing in Chicago. Police even shut down a benefit concert where he performed remotely as a hologram. The event was raising money for two people slain in a Chicago shooting, including a toddler. Keef was in the middle of talking about putting a stop to violence when authorities shut the power off. Similarly, Brooklyn's 22 G's told NME that he's been trying to use his music to uplift his neighborhood. I personally held several shows that went on without incident and have removed a lot of weapons from my visuals. I've even tried to do positive work in my community, like hosting a turkey drive in the fall, and even that was shut down. All I'm trying to do is bring light to my community, and I'm stopped every time. So you tell me who's being violent. Mayor Adams met with a group of New York rappers, including Fabio Foreign, Mano, B-Love, Slow Bucks, and Bleezy to open a conversation about gun violence in the hip-hop community. Hopefully, since conversations are happening with artists on behalf of the communities they rap about, the new mayor and people like him will focus on real issues. I mean, yeah, some drill music is violent and problematic, but it's a byproduct of what's happening, not the cause, and it should be treated that way. Because let's be real, the gun violence epidemic isn't a rap problem. It's an American problem. With the most mass murders of any country in the world, lawmakers should be focusing on the real reason people are getting killed here, and not artistic expression. I'm Dometi Pongo, and that's what you need to know.